Now, of course, there are a couple of things you never want to notice on your car, like a cracked windshield or a flat tire.
Yeah, one local man says he could not ever imagine seeing his vehicle in this condition, all four wheels stolen in broad daylight. Our Lexus Green is here in the studio with us, and she joins us now with more about how it all happened. Lexus?
Thanks, Leslie and Mike. Now, the owner of this Chevy truck says he couldn't believe his eyes when he and his family were leaving Century 16 on Saturday afternoon, walked out to the parking lot and saw their truck left sitting on its axle. All four tires gone.
I walked out at 1:30 with my kids and I saw my truck from afar, and I was kind of confused because I saw it kind of sitting sideways.
Jeff Nelson said lots of thoughts went through his mind at first glance. At first, he thought it was someone else's truck. And then he thought maybe someone had hit his truck, and that's why it was tilted like that.
Walked up to the truck and noticed all my tires and rims were gone.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a prank either. Nelson said all that was left was his tireless truck and a brick used to prop his truck up on, and the jack left behind from whoever did this.
When I noticed that, I was like, oh man, they got me.
A tough pill to swallow, considering the stolen tires and rim cost around $5,000. And in order to even get the truck towed, Nelson had to put replacement tires on, which cost him an additional $500. Nelson says his vehicle also suffered additional damage after being left on its axle, but luckily there was a witness.
The car that had parked behind me saw somebody loading up the last tire into a white minivan, and they're the ones who actually called the police, and that was about maybe 45 minutes before I got there.
Nelson says he did have locking lugs on his rims, but that didn't stop them from being stolen. Luckily, there was an officer on duty who was able to stay with him until a report was filed. But Nelson says there are no cameras located on the front parking lot at Century 16, which he says could have helped in this case.
It's a shame that there's people out there that are going around doing this type of stuff. I guess I never thought it would happen to me, but you know, it can happen to anybody.
Nelson says he isn't hopeful that he will be able to get his tires back, but he does hope they eventually catch the person behind this so no other family has to go through what he did. Leslie, Mike, back to you.